Hello, friends! It's Steve. Yes, Steve Cam, rebel leader of Nerd Fitness, and today is the official State of the Rebellion, Monday, July 6th, which is, I guess, day like 4,825 of the apocalypse, I think, if I remember correctly. Hopefully, things are going well on the internet. I see we have some people jumping in right now, and yeah, I just want to say hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to hang out. It's been a really exciting few weeks since I've last checked in with everyone here. So I've, with the exception of these 2-week, bi-weekly State of the Rebellion chats, I've largely removed social media like completely from my life. Like I've taken, Facebook certainly has been off of my phone for forever, but I've removed Twitter and Instagram and have largely cut back on that part of my life. And unfortunately, that also means cutting back a large part of interacting with the Nerd Fitness community, which makes me a sad panda because I love you guys. And so I'm really glad that I get a chance to do these every few weeks, just because it gives me a chance to connect with you again and kind of fill you in on why I've cut those things out of my life and what we've been doing. So for starters, one, I am rocking my Nerd Fitness 5K shirt. You can't tell because I'm sitting down, but I'm actually way faster now just as a result of putting it on. So everybody that's here, I see we have a handful of people. Give me a wave. I see a wave from Jennifer. Let me know where you are and how your 4th of July weekend was. I can tell you mine was pretty uneventful. I didn't have or attend any parties, so largely the majority of my time actually went to this recently released video game called The Last of Us Part 2. If anybody here watching is a gamer, or if you've played it or familiar with the Last of Us series, it's like survival horror action, kinda. Maya from Colorado. Hi, Maya. It was like 27 hours of like white knuckling the controller and being anxious and nervous and scared and freaked out. Jennifer's from Iowa. Hi, Jennifer. So yeah, phenomenal game. Storyline, incredible. Acting, like by far the best voice acting and script I've ever seen in any video game. The problem is, in between the story is like really scary, gruesome violence, and it's just exhausting. So after I finished it this past weekend, which was I guess what I decided to do for the 4th of July, I played the last 10-ish hours of it. And man, what an experience. So I'm glad I played it, and I'm glad it's over because it stressed me out like crazy, and I'm glad it's done. So the other reason, so back to, I cut social media largely out of my life. The reason I can't have those apps on my phone is because I have been testing my phone like crazy with the Nerd Fitness Journey app that we have been developing behind the scenes for, I think like true development probably started like a year ago, maybe 9-10 months ago, but like, let's be honest, the idea and the stuff that we're trying to implement in this habit building app have been in the works for years. So because I have to look at my phone all day long testing the app and checking the content and going back and forth between my phone and the computer as I'm building the adventures portion of the app, I can't have distractions on my phone. I need like horse blinders, and I have no self-control because, let's be honest, social media is crazy addicting. So I've largely removed those things from my phone, and now my phone is pretty much just a journey testing app. So while I'm on the subject of the app, and I'll get into questions, which I have, but if you have some fitness questions you want to share or ask, please start typing them in the chat because I will get to them as soon as they start rolling in. I have some questions from 4.2 that I'm going to talk about. So last week, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I am certainly not the one in charge of details, my job is to come up with the fun, creative stuff, and then we have a team of people at Nerd Fitness whose jobs it is to like actually make things, take crazy ideas of myself and other people and like make them work. Like our developer Alec on our team is a freaking wizard, like a literal wizard. Although I guess he plays as a druid in World of Warcraft, so I don't know if he'd be mad at me calling him a wizard. He'll probably get over it. This app is, we started having some members of the Nerd Fitness community, Nerd Fitness Prime, specifically other developers, start beta testing the app. So Alec is hard at work making the the improvements and catching all the little bugs that sneak in or have snuck through the app to this point. And Alec is just furiously making those improvements, improving the responsiveness and all those fun parts of the app. So I don't have a specific timeline for you, but the Nerd Fitness Prime community is that's the group of people who you guys will have access to the app, but you're the people that are going to get access to the app. Certainly first and foremost, and I'm excited to have your feedback in it and to see what we've been working on. So as I mentioned, it's a habit building app, but with a Nerd Fitness flair to it. It's, you build your own superhero, you have your own superhero avatar, you go on habit building missions and adventures, and there's some light story elements to it. And this is, kind of our version 1 of this app, but it's super fun. We're really proud of of how it's turned out so far, and have lots of ideas on what we're going to improve with it. So that's where most of my time has gone, really, for the past, 6 months, to be honest. It's in the content and kind of direction, working with my team and working on this app. So I'm sure some people, I think, some people I've noticed on Discord and some people in Facebook have poked through the app so far in its early stages. And as soon as we're able, we'll be opening the doors up to more people here in the Nerd Fitness Prime community. But it's very exciting that it's right around the corner. It's not some distant thing of like, hey, you guys should have an app. It's like, no, we have an app. And it's going to help you on a daily basis collect small wins and build, kind of that behavioral change that is really, really important to permanent progress. So I'm very fired up about that. I'm excited to see how the rest of the community likes it, and then also see kind of how the app evolves based on feedback. This app and Nerd Fitness is nothing without this community, which is why we do everything we can to foster the community and ask and get feedback and then make adjustments based on what that feedback may be. So I'm going to start seeing if we have any other questions rolling through, and if not, I have some questions coming in. Let's see, Jennifer, this year has been 60 years long. How long have you been working on it? That's a great point. George, Alec is really awesome. Yes, Alec is really awesome. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. First questions I see on another screen. I have them over here. I'm not ignoring you or distracted. I'm just looking at the other screen with the questions on it. But keep your questions coming. Bring them in. Anne says she can't wait for the app. That makes me really happy. It's I envision this app like literally every 6 months almost, probably reinventing itself based on feedback. And we're going to see what works and what doesn't work, and which parts of it really resonate with the Nerd Fitness community and which parts of it don't. So in advance, thank you very much for your feedback. So, all right, let's see what we got for some questions here. Also, I'm going to be chugging water like a madman because our air conditioner in this house, this 100-year-old, recently renovated home in Nashville, the air conditioner is on the fritz, so they had to turn it off today. So if I'm like drenched in sweat by the end of this, it's not that I got a great workout talking, it's that the air conditioning is a little jacked up. So, all right, questions. Jim, let's see, how did you navigate 4th of July food? I navigated the 4th of July food guilt-free. So, which is, I guess, a great topic for us to talk about right now. Food carries a lot of baggage for a lot of people, right? Like, food, we eat something and then we feel bad about ourselves or we feel shame as a result of eating it. And that causes us to feel worse. So then we often go to the one thing that we might take comfort in, even though we know it's not great for us. It at least provides us with some temporary comfort, right? And that is food. So we get caught in this negative cycle of, I shouldn't eat this, but I'm going to eat it. I'm guilty. Oh, now I feel ashamed that I ate it. I'm a loser. Oh, what's the point? I guess I'm just going to eat more food. I look at food differently, and this is through dedicating my life literally to health, fitness, and nutrition, right? So I look at food more like for 80 to 90, let's say 80% of the time, most of my meals, let's say during the week, I am going to eat in line with my goals. So I know roughly how many calories I need to eat every day. I know how much protein I want to eat, and I just target those things. I need to eat vegetable, protein, and kind of stick within my calorie range. And I try to stay pretty close to that. And I know the more likely, or the more success I have doing that during the week, the more leeway I have for the occasional meal. Let's say it's a holiday, 4th of July weekend, or friends. I have friends here in Nashville that just have a baby, and they come over to the house and sit at the other end of the porch and gladly enjoy a few beers and do so like guilt-free. Food and drink mean more than just the calories that they are. Food and drink are often a shared bonding experience with friends, their shared bonding experience with family. Maybe you're like a single mom or dad and you only get a chance on a weekend to hang out with your kids and they want to go to McDonald's. Like, what do you do in that situation? You don't want to feel guilty for eating McDonald's. You don't want to feel shame for doing so. You don't want to beat yourself up afterwards because you did. Instead, like, enjoy that food for what it is. It's not just food. It's like part of your, I don't want to say culture, but rather like food becomes more than just the calories that you're consuming. So I go out of my way to specifically stay on target during the week so that on the weekend, during a holiday, I can just eat the foods and not worry about the calories. So like on my 4th of July, I ate a lot of chips, like Ridge chips from Trader Joe's, and they were delicious. I ate a couple cheeseburgers, also fantastic, that I cooked on the grill that I have outside here. And I drank more than a few beers. Specifically, I drank the Jackalope. Jackalope is a brewery here in Nashville. I think the beers are called Lovebird. Like high calorie, high alcohol content. They were delicious. And then after that, it was Kentucky whiskey, Kentucky bourbon, and watched Hamilton on Disney Plus. And I gotta say, it was like, I know there was a lot of hype around Hamilton, and I don't know. Whenever something gets hyped that much, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just I don't know, curmudgeon hipster in that, like, if everybody likes something, I want to go the other direction. I was wrong. Hamilton is freaking so well done. Like, I get it. I get why there was such a buzz around it, and the creative genius of Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, holy, good Lord. Just amazing, right? So, I can't say enough good things about what I saw. And if anybody else here has Disney Plus, I know it's super cheap, but it's worth watching. I watched it in 2 parts, half one night, half the next night. Kaylin Hamilton, yes. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. The writing is so clever. The different genres of music they pull in are incredible. Let's see, other great questions. Any exercise that excited you recently? Not really. Right now, I don't know. We're coming up on month 4 of the apocalypse, and like I live here in Nashville. Like, I think cases in Tennessee are rising. I don't think to the extent that they are in Florida, Texas, Arizona, but Tennessee, I do believe the cases are rising. So it seems like the lockdown is going to continue, and that's my personal plan, to stay locked down and just continue kind of my hermit. What hermit is not actually a word. My hermit existence, and just work and exercise. So any exercise I've just been kind of going through this. What's the Zen? Is it Zen? I think it's Zen. the Zen proverb. If it's not Zen, I apologize. Somebody can correct me. But let's say the proverb: chop wood, carry water. And it's this concept of like no matter where you are and what you're doing, or how good things or how bad things are going, or how successful or unsuccessful things may be, chop wood and carry water. And like those are the things that need to get done every day. So I've largely removed goals from my life as far as like aspirational goals. Like I want to deadlift 500 pounds. Like someday, sure, maybe I'll bring that goal back on board. But in the meantime, during the pandemic, while we're trying to launch an app and the air conditioning is broken in the house, I am just treading water, and I'm okay with that. Like my workout today, I do have the home gym that I built. I bought my equipment from Fringe Sport, who is a friend of Nerd Fitness and supplied all the equipment at Camp Nerd Fitness many years ago. It's FRINGESPORT. That's where I bought the my weights and barbell, and then I got the squat rack from Rogue because they had one in stock. This is many months ago. So right now it's just the basics, and I do them, and I don't even want to do them, but I'm just focusing on treading water, chop wood, carry water. So front squats, deadlifts, set the pull-up bar at the highest height it can on the squat rack, and then I do some pull-ups, and I hang the rings from the squat rack. Like I hang them from the barbell on the squat rack, and I do push-ups and ring rows, like the basics. You know, it's so funny. When you start out with exercise, you want to get the basics down. Like I need to know how to do like a squat and a push-up and work my way up to a pull-up, right? And then maybe 6 months in, you're like, oh, I need some more variety, and I need to add more exercises, and we're going to do these supersets, and we're going to mix it up with this other thing, and I'm going to balance on one foot. And then you realize that like the basics are really what you need. Like just work your way back to the basics and stick with them and put your focus on just getting stronger with those movements. So like my deadlifts, you know, I don't have enough weight to go for new goals. So it's like, okay, like I'm going to do the best that I can with this bar right now, and I'm going to do the best I can, some pull-ups, and we're just going to get through these workouts. We're going to chop wood, we're going to carry water, we're going to get back to work and taking care of ourselves physically. You know, I've been taking care of myself playing, like I said, I played through Last of Us, which probably wrecked me emotionally. So I need to pick a new video game now as a, you know, fun little escape here and there that doesn't involve pandemics and zombies and crazy violence. So yeah, let's see. Kaylin. I think I want to sign up for Nerd Fitness coaching. Oh, very cool. I've seen some people say they are waitlisted and saw your email about hiring new coaches. Is this still the case? Glad to see it's a popular option you offer. Yes, that is correct. So, you know, I guess it's of the problems to have. We're very fortunate as a company and a community currently that, you know, online coaching and online fitness programs are in demand, and we have seen a lot of interest in our Nerd Fitness coaching program, which I'm really, really proud of, and the number of clients that are staying every month is growing as well. And as a result of, you know, in both of those things happening simultaneously during this pandemic, we do have a wait list currently. So if somebody were to sign up for coaching today, there is a wait list. From the day you start, you know, it's a number of weeks before we get you paired with your coach. And that's, you know, sheerly due to volume. You know, we don't want to pack every coach with too many clients. We want each coach to make sure that they get to know each client and that they get a chance to interact with that client regularly, and they can create a great experience for that client. So, yeah, we did bring on new coaches last week I'm very excited. I got a chance to meet all 4 of them, and they're phenomenal. And I do believe we are looking for more coaches too. So if anybody here is interested in or knows of somebody that you think might be a great fit for being a coach on Team Nerd Fitness, please send them our way. I think the URL, it's like if you Google like Nerd Fitness work for us or Nerd Fitness work with us, for us, with us. I think it's work with us. it has all the details and information about coaching. So yes, we are always looking for more coaches. Yes, there is a wait at the moment for a few weeks. So if you are interested, and you know you want to get started in the next month or so, now would probably be a great time to sign up for a call, and you'll talk to either Big Red or Jenna on Team Nerd Fitness. There are sales folks that do an amazing job, like literally just getting to hear your story, and like they know each of the coaches and can make a suggestion like, hey, I think this coach might be a good fit for you, or these few coaches might be a great suggestion. And then as the weeks go on, we get you started. But even then, we make sure that anybody that joins our coaching program does have access to the Nerd Fitness Prime community, because we know that's having access to a community, even if you're waiting to get paired with your coach, we get them started right away. So tying all of this together, right now my workouts are super basic. I am working with my personal fitness coach too, online coach. I said like, hey, this is the equipment I have. Right now time is limited because I'm spending a lot of time working on this app and Nerd Fitness and all these other things. So what can we do that keeps my time to a minimum? My workouts are probably like 45 minutes at most, 4 days a week. And then I'm still, doing my training for Nerd Fitness, the Nerd Fitness Prime 5K, or Nerd Fitness Prime, the Nerd Fitness 5K, which is coming up in 2 weeks, which is rapidly approaching. I admittedly have not been doing all of my runs. It hasn't been a priority for me, because I've had other things, specifically the app and getting my strength workouts in. So, don't mind that. Oh, I see, Joe. Oh my God, Big Red was what the mean kids called me to make me cry in 2nd grade. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh. Joe, I'm so sorry you had to experience that. I promise you, our Big Red, you can call him Big Red, and he will not cry. He will tell you plenty of stories and crack corny jokes in the best way possible. So, okay, let's see. Other questions. Nilas, how flexible should you be with taking off days versus working out 2 or more days in a row for beginner to intermediate? For example, is it fine to have 3 to 4 weekly full body workouts with 2 of them in a row if they have varied exercises or volume? Yes, that is totally fine. So, generally speaking, especially if you're starting out, your muscles, let's say they take 48 hours to recover. Sometimes they take more, sometimes they take less, depending on how frequently you're working out. Your recovery time. It also factors in your age, your diet, how much sleep you're getting, et cetera, et cetera. So you can absolutely do 4 full body workouts a week, and with sometimes 2 of them might be back to back, as long as you're not doing the same movements repeatedly. So there's some nuance there. It comes down to intensity, right? So if you're somebody that is in pretty good shape, doing things like push-ups and squats, like bodyweight squats and push-ups every day doesn't tax your body nearly as much as if you were to try to do really, really heavy, like 400-pound deadlifts every day, right? So you want to kind of match your recovery with the intensity of the workout that you're doing. So if you're doing like really heavy lower body movements, then I would probably take 2 to 3 days off on retaxing those exercises. But if you're if you're at home and you don't have any equipment and you're doing like basic, body weight movements, your body can potentially handle this every day. Now, this won't go for everybody, but just as an example, there is a series of exercises called like a PLP program, which is push-ups, lunges, and pull-ups. And I've done this program in the past. I would say it's not even intermediate, it's advanced. So this would be an advanced movement. It's the concept where every day for 60 days you're going to do push-ups, lunges, and pull-ups. And you do 1 more rep each day than you did the day before. So on day 1, you do 1 push-up, 1 lunge for each leg, and 1 pull-up. On day 2, you do 2 push-ups, 2 lunges, and 2 pull-ups, all the way up to 60. Now, your body starts to learn fairly quickly And it's not like you have to do them all in one set either. So by the time when I did this, I was doing, on the last day of 60 push-ups, 60 pull-ups, and 60 lunges. You're not doing them all in one set. Instead, it's like you're doing 5 sets of 12 of each, or 6 sets of 10, or whatever it may be. So the goal is just to accumulate a lot of volume and teach your body, like, oh man, this is happening every day. I need to build muscle and I need to recover quickly in this area. There's a whole article on Nerd Fitness called PLP. If you just Google Nerd Fitness PLP, it'll show up. So, like I said, that is an advanced strategy, but just goes to show, like, if there are movements that your body has conquered, doing them every day is certainly a possibility. If doing push-ups and squats are a decent challenge for you right now, that's amazing. Like, that's a great place to be. I would then say, yeah, take a day off between the two, or take a day off between doing those movements every single day. So, yeah, that's a great question from Nilas. Let's see. Rebecca, has the 5K training made you love running? Or are you ready to entrench yourself in team no cardio? Great question. I still have, I don't want to, like, I guess I'll go with a like-hate relationship with running. Like, I don't love running, but I've had to change my mindset around it, and I'm starting to like it more just because it's I guess, like, I almost find it meditative, right? Like, when I squat and deadlift, you have to, like, you're focusing on your breathing and bracing your core, and, like, your eyes are popping out of your head because you're picking up heavy weight, and then you put it down, and then you're done. And then you can check your phone, or, I've fallen into a bad habit of setting up my iPad in the basement where the squat rack is, and watching people play the game on Twitch. I watch, there's a card game, a rogue-like card game called Slay the Spire. I don't know if anybody here has played it, but it's a randomized deck that you get, virtual deck, and your goal is to defeat an ever-increasing challenge of bad guys until you can beat the game. And the whole thing is randomized every time that you play, and your progress doesn't carry over after you die. So anyways, I've got hooked on it, and now I'm, like, watching other people play Slay the Spire so I can watch their strategy, so I can learn. Like, this is one of the first times I've played a card building game that I've really, really got into. So I'm enjoying that. But anyways, like, I can do that while in between squat sets, which is not meditative. So when I'm running, I'm focusing on my breath. I'm counting to 10. I'm thinking about the next, running to the next mailbox or whatever it may be. So running has become a challenge for me. And I try to think, like, I get to run. And I'm running to improve my cardiovascular health and also give me a chance to, I think it's just a good baseline of health to have. Like, there's always charity 5K runs, so I want to be in a position where I could just get up and go run a 5K tomorrow. Like, that seems like a great goal to aspire to have. I know that might be quite a while before I get to it. I reserve the right to change my goals down the road as things change, because who knows what the next month or 2 months will bring. I saw on the New York Times today that there was a case of the bubonic plague in Mongolia yesterday. So, I mean, between the murder hornets and the swine flu and coronavirus and now the bubonic plague, like 2020, I'm out. So who knows what's coming next, right? So, let's see. Other questions. I think I saw a good one. Okay. Cheryl, 64-year-old with arthritis here. I have bad knees and can't even squat very low yet. Lunges, forget about it. What would be a recommendation for modifying lunges? The squats I can work on, but lunges are really difficult. Yeah, I would not do lunges. There's like a million ways to exercise, and definitely removing lunges from your goal. So I don't know the extent of your leg injury. I don't know the extent of your arthritis or the state that your knees are in. So I'd be wary to provide specific information, not knowing your specific case. What I can do is I am going to bug Jim, Team Nerd Fitness, Coach Jim, who you've seen Jim around the Nerd Fitness community. He's everywhere and omnipresent and omniscient. Jim is everywhere. I'll see if Jim can help reply with some exercise-based enhancements or exercise adjustable exercises, I guess, or adjustments to those exercises that could work for somebody in your situation. Hypothetically, again, I don't know your exact situation, so I can't really, speak to that exactly. So, okay, anybody, few questions. I'm going to go for like another 5-ish minutes. So, any last second rapid fire questions you have for me, please fire in your final comments. Otherwise, I have a really fun question here from George that I would love everybody else to answer. George, who everybody I'm sure has seen around the Nerd Fitness community as well. George asks, what is one thing, activity, place, whatever, that everybody should include on their Epic Quest list? That's a good question. What's one thing? Okay, so while we're all trapped here in quarantine and not traveling, a lot of my list was around travel back in 2011, 2010, and then I did my around the world travel and ran Nerd Fitness for a year while living out of a backpack. And that was quite the learning experience, and very thankful I did it. So I'm hesitant to provide. Oh, and I talk about all of that stuff, like my traveling and how to build your own Epic Quest. I swear George did not. But if you haven't read it, I wrote this book called Level Up Your Life. It's available in bookstores and on the internet and places that you can buy stuff, right? I talk about all this stuff in the book. So I like Anne's suggestion here, do something that scares you. The things that scare the crap out of me that I would not recommend for everybody. I bungee jumped and skydived, and flew a stunt plane. I did all of those things in within a span of 3 days. It was terrifying and exciting, and I'm glad I did it. Of all the places I enjoyed going, and this is going to be a sad one to say, because nobody can go there right now. Well, nobody can go anywhere, right? But nobody can go there specifically because I think they did it. New Zealand. New Zealand is amazing, and there's more sheep than people, and the food is great, and the weather is really nice, and everybody I met was really nice, and just just incredible. Very obviously that's where they filmed the Lord of the Rings. I would say, for people that can get to New Zealand, and like I said, there's zero. I think there's literally zero confirmed cases now on the island of New Zealand, and I think they have their borders closed. So, props to New Zealand. Well done. So that would be one. I guess as far as a place, and then activities. Yeah, Jennifer, I see hand balancing is on my list. Doing a handstand. I think that's a great goal. A handstand and a set of 5 pull-ups. If you can do a handstand and 5 pull-ups, you are going to be in really good shape. There's so many other parts of your body that need to be in good shape in order to handle both supporting your weight or pulling your weight up. So, I think those are great physical goals that people can be working on, literally right now. I actually think, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we're going to be working on handstands. I'm sorry, we're going to be working on getting your first pull-up in the Nerd Fitness Prime community after the community 5K run. So we like this idea of having the community as a whole pull towards working on certain activities together. It makes us feel good. We know that we're all working on stuff at the same time and going through things together. So pull-ups, I think, is the next big challenge that we are going to tackle as a community, which has me very excited. I'm glad to share it. Anybody else? Okay, what is your bucket list item, I guess, that you think everybody should have on their list? So for me, it's if you're able to visit New Zealand at some point, that your mileage may vary, but I absolutely loved it. And then getting a handstand, 5 pull-ups. I think knowing how to play a musical instrument should be on everybody's list too. You should know how to play 3 songs with 1 instrument. It could be the piano or the guitar or the drums or something, but music is such an integral part of society, right? That like learning how to play a musical instrument is such a perfect it's a perfect stress reliever. It teaches you to be okay to suck at something. Like it teaches you to slow down and learn the basics. It reminds you that things are gonna take time, and that like even if you're bad at it, you can still have a lot of fun with it. So like, I'm still terrible at the violin. Like I think I'm regressing at the violin. That's okay. Like it makes me happy, and I enjoy playing it. So I keep going. So. Guys, that's all I have for today. I realize this is kind of a quick one, but I do need to wrap up because we have somebody come over to check out the to not fix the AC. No, they're fixing the AC tomorrow morning. We have somebody coming by in the next 20 minutes, so I need to clean the house up and make sure everything's cleaned up. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope you're all being well and safe and trying to get some workouts in and forgiving yourself if things aren't going perfectly because, again, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. And Pepper's still here, but she hasn't got a chance to say hi on the stream yet, so I'm going to go get her. Hold on one sec. Okay, we got the dog. This is Pepper. She says bye. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope to see you all. Well, certainly not in the. Certainly not. On certain social media platforms, as I'm still keeping them off of my phone for the immediate future. But I hope to check in and continue to do these kind of state of the rebellions and check in. But thank you very much for hanging out. And we'll keep you posted as soon as we are able and can let more people in to help us test out the Nerd Fitness Journey app. We will let you do it because we're having fun and that feedback is going to be so critical. So thank you very much in advance for when you do get a chance to test out the app, for taking it, for poking through it and finding holes and letting us know what features you'd like to see, because that's the stuff that we are powering through on. So thanks. Have a lovely Monday, and I will catch up with you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.